Mics are up. Yes. It is time for us to talk entertainment inside of the Grapevine Lagos. You're joining us here at Smooth Breakfast with Folu.
And with Valentine. And in the studio with us, we have Oris. How you doing, Oris? How you doing? I like you did your best there. Yeah, but we got it. We got it. Thank you so much, Oris. How's life treating you this morning?
Fantastic, I think.
Excellent. I like that. I think that's
Excitement for the morning. Great.
Yes.
Great. Yes, it's the 1st of November, so I'm just saying he's excited for the month, maybe.
Well, no, I don't agree. Actually.
Something special happened yesterday. Woke up on the right side of the
Why
bed
can't he
this
just be
morning.
excited about life?
Okay. Woke up on the right side of the
Why
bed
can't he
this
just be
morning.
excited about life?
Look at that laugh. This man has a real motive.
No, don't.
But no, it's totally innocent. Just innocent
Yeah.
happiness. That's a thing, actually.
It
It is?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is,
okay.
yeah.
I like
Shocking,
it.
I know. Shocking.
It's not shocking. That's normal. It's normal completely. Lagos, join us in conversation this morning as we're about to delve into entertainment news and, of course, brand new music. We are going to have a guest, Femi Leye, in the studio. He is late. Femi, I know you're listening. Late. But I forgive you because I know that you've never been late to Smooth before and the traffic is heinous.
Yeah, and I know why he's late, actually.
Yeah?
He had to perform at the Lagos International Poetry Festival last night.
Okay.
Alright.
So they had this taking off shirt stuff, So I'm like, okay, I get it. So I get it.
Femi, you have to explain something.
It was a rock star last night, so
So
yeah.
you're removing your shirt as a rock star yesterday is affecting your appearance this morning, but it's okay. And of course, we want you to join us in the conversation. Use the hashtag Grapevine981 up on Twitter. Send us messages to our WhatsApp number. It is 0809 444 0981. And just really share your candid opinions. We do appreciate them. We may not always agree with them, but we certainly appreciate them. And we're streaming live on YouTube as well. So
Yes,
please
we
head
are.
over to YouTube.
Go to YouTube and type Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You find us there. Leave a comment in the comment section because we really love your comments.
Yes.
And you can see us. You can watch Femi Leye as it comes in, steps into the studio.
And I tell him
Late.
that he's late. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But first off, we're gonna listen to brand new music from a young artist called Edez. Now, Edez was tenacious in sending me DMs, in I don't want to say stalking. It wasn't. He was tenacious, and I do appreciate that. So for everyone who keeps emailing, they email, they send DMs. I do appreciate you. This one is called Free. So he had an earlier track out, but Free is coming out tomorrow, I believe. So we are going to listen to it right now. It is the Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. Here's Free by Edez.
He was actually downstairs.
Why would you call me out?
He was
No,
because I
always
called
early.
everybody out.
Why would you call me
But
out?
you know-
About people
you
in
know,
my
hear me
life.
say that you
Me.
are early.
I told you 2 hours, 30 minutes of traffic.
Because he just sat down downstairs.
But
And I was like,
just
excuse me.
come up now.
I just
Please,
texted
you
it. I'm in the
No, my
building.
phone is streaming.
Good morning.
My phone is a streaming phone today.
How are you, sir?
My phone is a
It's a
streaming.
player. It's a
Because
player.
they will now
People should
say-
give me key card. This is your office.
Come, let's greet properly.
How are you?
Welcome, I'm good.
See,
Because you don't say because Folu is friends with Femi. That's why I should not say he was late. Please, I don't want it.
it's true.
I don't want it.
I-
And I did say you are always on time, so we forgive you for being.
Okay.
We know you. You are.
I had to, because I had Lagos Press Festival yesterday. I did the opening, so I said
When
it.
you were
I told
removing
them.
your shirt, you know him.
Oh,
You were a
yeah.
rockstar. Yesterday.
I
Now
took
you're
off my.
giving a rockstar shirt.
I said my wife was here. She would have cussed me out.
Well, I'm going in.
I need to hear this one.
Mics are up. Studio's live.
Alright, Lagos, and we are officially back in. The sound you're listening to is by an artist called Edez. The song is called Free, and he really did just send this into the DMs. We sent him the email. We decided we needed to put it on the Grapevine. Also, if you're up on our live stream, which is important for you to be on, you'd have seen Femi Leye finally stroll into the studio. Saying, why'd you call me up? Folu Leye. Good morning, Femi. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good.
It's okay. It's
My
okay.
voice is a little deep.
I was just going to ask that. It just dropped now. You weren't speaking like this when you stepped in.
This is the radio.
That's fine.
It's on fire.
We'll respect you here because you're our family. We'll respect you. But let's focus very quickly on the song we've just listened to. It's a song called Free by Edez. Oris, what are your thoughts on the song?
I want to say, why did you ignore the guy for so long?
Because I was busy. You know, sometimes people send DMs, and the official way to do it is send an email. Okay.
Yeah.
True that.
Email
us
is best.
At Smooth, all right. But I
Oh,
did
well.
tell him do go into the emails because he was, and he wrote very well. That's another thing I like when people are able to express themselves and say, listen, I really do think you'll appreciate this. I think this might be something you want. Please do check it out.
It gets your foot in the door.
Just listen. It does a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the song a lot, and I think I even like the title maybe more. Just the idea of free, I think he's working on something there.
All right. I mean, Femi, I know you just strolled into the building, but
Well,
as a musician,
what you just said right now, presenting yourself in a very, very fantastic manner with a lot of confidence in your art, actually, it paves the way for you, and that was actually the way I started also, so I could relate to him, and I think the sound is very, very cool.
Do you know the guy? No,
I don't know him personally. I mean, I'll send him a message now, and just say, listen, I hope you listened. I'll send him the link as well.
I would like to hear more.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
like to
Interesting. What's interesting about people like this? In fact, not people like this, but most of these entries we get or submissions we get, we never meet them, we never know them from day one.
Yeah, there are a lot of people we never get to
just
meet.
send them material.
Isn't that a bit of a problem? I mean, I don't know for them. I guess like I feel that some kind of follow up would be nice.
For me, so for example, I ran into Sil Soul at Femi Leye's private listening, which is really cool. So there are people that I do run across. If I like your music, I tend to follow you, so I keep track of what it is that you're doing, if there are new sounds, and that's just my personal culture of doing that. We tend to like to try and invite people on as well, but because the Grapevine only happens Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we've got this massive influx.
A tough
I
call.
well, I kind of get that. It's not even about you; it's about the artists themselves. I feel like you have to do more. I mean, like this guy, wherever you are, Edez, please make another song.
Yes. He does have another one that he released earlier this year.
Okay.
And during the course of the show, I'll go check out the name and then I put it out there so you guys can go listen to it. But big shout out to Edez. And Free drops, I believe, officially tomorrow. So big congratulations to him. I personally really like the song. I like the message. I like the lyrics. I like the sound of his voice. I like him.
Well, he writes well. Eh?
Yeah. Good job. Up next, the man of the moment,
Thanks.
Femi Leye is in the building.
What up?
We're here to discuss Highlife EP, which just dropped yesterday.
Today.
Brand
Yeah,
spanking
first
new.
time on radio. I always bring it for smooth.
Femi's not
every
Christmas
time.
yet though, but yeah.
Is it
I'm in the spirit already, man. I'm in the spirit already.
I have to say, for our listeners out there who don't know Femi Leye, he is somebody that you should get to know. He's an incredibly talented and skilled and gifted musician. He's a guitarist. He plays the drums a bit as well. He's multi-talented. That's the reality.
Thanks.
Takes off his shirt on stage.
He's a rock star. You'll see him playing with the 79th Element.
Yeah.
That's they're the band that plays with Adekule. So whenever you're like, who's this guitar? Where's this guitar riff coming from? It's coming from the man Femi Leye. So we're gonna play the song for you. It's one of the songs off his EP. It's a 4-track EP. This one is called Daara. It is the last track. Yes. Never expected it.
I did not see it coming.
It's the last track on the EP. We'll play it for you and we'll come back and I will tell you why we kind of decided on this one. Here it is, Daara. All right, well, we're going to stay on. We are going to talk a little bit more to Femi about this EP, and then we're going to go back to playing the track for you properly. This is, of course, The Grapevine on Smooth 98.1. So, Val, do you have any questions for Femi?
So Femi, I'm not gonna ask you when you started doing music. I'm not gonna start.
Long king.
About why did you take off your shirt last night? Why?
It was really hot.
Do you do that?
It was, no. I don't.
It was
But
at
yesterday-
night, Femi.
Yes, I know, but it was really hot on stage.
When a guy takes off his shirt, there's always
Yeah, the ladies were shouting already. What do you want to do?
So that's what it was about there. Because I was there like, wait,
It's always about
I've
the
seen Femi
ladies,
perform
come
a few times, but I've not seen this particular move. What is
That was
happening
my
here
first time
exactly?
actually. So I've had
Like,
this
okay.
conversation, with my wife for a while, for a while now. Like, once we get married, I'll start taking off my shirt on stage. And she said, I'm going to deal with you. You're
Literally.
going to have pot belly. And she dealt with me. First month into marriage, I was having this huge stomach. I was like, what's this?
What was it?
Bam, but thank God, everything had
How
disappeared.
did she pull that out?
Oh, she's with my Kwai Bum. They can cook.
Oh,
And I love
nice.
Does she have a sister?
Oh yes.
Okay, so now we're talking.
They are married.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if a guy wants sport belly, you know, he has to know where to go, right?
This world of social media. You have to ask.
But yesterday was really phenomenal. It was my
Yes.
third time doing, the festival 3 years in a row. But
Okay.
the energy was so amazing. I had to take off my shirt. Honestly, I will not even lie.
That's nice. That's nice.
And more of that will be coming very soon.
okay.
Other shows. So ladies, get ready for all of this spice.
But Femi,
All of this too.
your family here. So
Yeah,
I mean, your sound resonates across Lagos. People feel you and enjoy what you do. But as a nagging question in my mind, sometimes we tend to place artists in categories.
Yeah.
Like, or just we know MI for rap. We know Yemi. I mean, Femi is jazz. Femi is what else?
Well, Femi started with jazz.
Uh-huh.
Femi will always do jazz. But Femi does not do only jazz.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Like I don't like when people put me in the box. Because you can play the jazz guitar, that's all you are. I'm a producer. I'm a multi-instrumentalist.
So believe it.
What is that? I'm a guitarist. I'm a singer-songwriter. So there's this a lot of facets to me that I dabble into and I try to put out in my music. If you listen to the EP very well, you realize that there's a lot of African music, influence of jazz, but a lot of contemporary vibes also. So like it's a combination of a lot of things that I really, really, really love and I admire. So if I hear, let's say, a Bruno Mars today now, it can inspire me to do a record, that will be, in that line, have like that pop feel, but still has that jazz feel, but still has that Femi Leye feel. So you grow into it. You don't. I don't believe in blowing. I believe in growing. So I'm growing into my art. I'm growing into my.
That's
own.
awesome.
All right.
That's awesome.
What we're going to do is we're going to go into our entertainment stories for the moment, and then we'll come back because Lagos, you absolutely need to hear Daara properly. You need to hear Femi Leye's music. But we also need to talk about is massive issues or something quite major to me, I think, that happened with one of our writers, our filmmakers, Onyeka Nwelue, who's crying out for justice after the Rwandan government allegedly assaulted him for complaining about their national carrier, Rwandan. So Val's going to just take us through the story very quickly and let us know exactly what happened in this story.
So in this post that he shared on his Facebook page yesterday evening, the award-winning writer Onyeka Nwelue, he accused the Rwandan government of assaulting him and subjecting him to inhumane conditions after he complained about the national carrier Rwanda Air. He wrote quite a lengthy piece talking about his encounter. He said he had to write this. He was threatened. He was threatened of blackmail in many ways. He was asked not to write about it, not to speak about it, but he had to write about it. And he seemed to have written this from his hospital bed. He said on the 22nd of October, he sat at the lobby of a normal hotel in Kigali with his friend Aigbokhaevbolo, and 6 men in suits came to him, and one said, "Are you Onyeka Nwelue?" He said yes, and they continued. "You made a report about Yvonne Makolo." He shook his head. Ebuka had a flight to catch at 4:25, he said, so he left. So they said that their boss wanted to see him to solve the issue. Now, Yvonne Makolo was or is the CEO of Rwanda Air, and in July, apparently, said he lost his belongings while traveling with the airline, and out of anger, he wrote so many things on social media. He was taken to the investigation bureau of that airline, and the director general brought out his phone and showed him munched tweets that were directed at the airline and their president, and they asked him to wait after writing statements of his own purported to to be from him, and they signed it themselves. He said he told them that he wanted to speak to the embassy. They refused. They took his phone and his laptop and asked for his passwords, and he gave that to them, and they began to access all his contents. By 11 p.m., recall, his friend left him at 4:25.
Wow.
He was still there by 11 p.m. He was taken to a police station, they say the Kasisiru police station, and pushed into an empty space called bare floor filled with large mosquitoes, and that was where he would remain for the next 7 days. They said his friend had no choice, Ebuka had no choice but to contact the CEO of the airline.
No, of Ama. It's
okay,
the movie guys, yes.
Yes, the movie guys. Because that was around the same period that this happened, you know. for the movie festival. Anyway, so they started making frantic calls to their contacts in Rwanda and kept insisting that he wanted to speak to the Nigerian embassy. They would not let him do that. For 7 days, he couldn't eat. He said there was simply no appetite. He was taken to the doctor, who confirmed to the hospital, really, and they told them they had a kidney problem after tests and examinations. I mean, so many things happened according to his accounts. He even took a screenshot of the hematology report from the hospital and put it forward. What do you guys think of this? I mean, looking at this story, it's man,
It's really terrible.
it is.
It's not fair at all.
Yeah.
Like that's very
It's a terrible encounter.
No.
I don't know.
I can't even imagine.
Onyeka Nwelue, you mentioned
Yeah. It's a personal friend of mine. Onyeka he's a bit of a character himself, you know. But I don't think anything he's done deserves
Warrants
such
this sort of
this kind
behavior.
of treatment. So it's a bit disturbing actually that an airline could, I don't know, do something like this. Reminds me of the military era, which is I don't know, it's just ridiculous.
It is
honestly.
scary. Lagos, we're gonna have to take a very quick break, okay? So do stay with us. You're still listening to the Grapevine here on Smooth 98.1.
That sorts it out.
Yes. Yes. Are we playing out?
What keeps you going is verve. Verve in your mind helps you understand
Thanks.
that
Okay,
every
I'll come
stumbling
back.
block is actually a stepping stone. Verve in your vision helps you see nothing but
yes.
possibilities. And verve in your hand? Well, let's just say that's how you get rewarded.
Okay.
for not giving up
Okay.
on you. So, no
Yes.
matter what you're into,
Okay,
verve
cool.
is
No
key
worries.
to open
Okay, we're
the
good.
doors
Let's
you
go.
want. So, have you got
Okay,
verve?
let's go. We're going back
Verve, the
on. Stop
rewarding way
that.
to
Stop
make
that.
payments.
Love music. Love life.
And we're back in the studio talking about entertainment, and the last story was a heart-wrenching one on accounts from Onyeka Nwelue, his experience in Rwanda.
Absolutely, with the Rwandan government. Really, really shocking stuff going on there. But if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the Grapevine on Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. In the studio with us, we have Oris. How you doing, Oris? We've got Femi Leye. Hey, Femi.
Yeah, what's up?
All right, no, let's hear that one more time.
Hey, what's up?
Excellent. And Femi's in the studio because we've got brand new music from him, which we are now going to play for you. This one is called Daara. Okay, it is from his Highlife EP, which did come out just yesterday, and I was at the pre-listening because I'm a blown person.
Quite long.
Everybody-
Everywhere.
I don't want to be too proud, but I just want to let people know. But officially, we want you to hear the song properly, and then we'll come back to talk about it. Please do make sure you send in your comments to us, all right? Use the hashtag Grapevine981 or send in messages to us on our WhatsApp number, which is 0809-444-0981. Here is Daara by Femi Leye.
Survive that.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. Okay.
How do we go and get the EP? I'll let you read it.
Ah, hey, who am I? Review go.
No, how do I get the EP?
It's everywhere. Like every
Is it on
breathing,
Boomplayer?
every breathing online store in the world. There is no place that you go that this music is not there.
Oh, meanwhile, I'm putting your music to play as part of the playlist for Ardex Lagos.
Please,
Yes, no,
please,
I
You're
do
creating that?
already.
please.
Yeah, they also give to help. Okay, let's go back in.
Studio.
I'll tell you the meaning of this song.
Okay, there you go. I hope you are catching the feeling.
Yeah, catching the vibe.
You are
It's a
getting
vibe. It's a vibe.
It's a whole vibe. So Femi Leye, for this Highlife EP, you've got the different names. A couple of them are in Yoruba, a couple of them are in Ibibio.
Yeah, this is in Ibibio also.
Shout out to any. Oh, this Daara is
Ibibio.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's a double A there.
it means rejoice or to be happy. Yeah.
I thought it was the girl's name.
Ini, well done.
Ini, she's in it.
Not
You know.
powerful. For those of you who are wondering, yes, Ini that was here and used to be on the cast, but is married to Femi Leye. It's very exciting. It's part of why we just love him. He's a big part of our family. But just listen to this music. Please talk to us about Daara and the story behind making this particular track.
Okay. I think it was my birthday. I was out of the house and I came into the house and I realized that my wife had this like romantic thing going on the floor, candles and whatnot, and cakes, cupcakes. I'm like, wow, wood.
Nice.
Woman.
You were well.
What's this?
I like that.
And I just fell on top of the world. I was so happy. And after, the regular.
Okay. Good job. Good job.
I'm not sure what that means, but okay.
I went
We're still
into
young.
We are not going to probe. We are not going to probe.
I went into the studio, which is also in my house, and I started making the music. I had the melody in my head, and I just started making the music, and it was very, very different from the regular. Just make something amazing out of it, and yeah.
When next are you celebrating a birthday?
My brother is next year.
Why are you asking
It's
about
a long
this?
terms.
Why are you asking?
Because for this kind of sounds come after.
Do you know what I noticed about the sound? It is the rejoicing in it is clear.
Yeah, it's very,
The
very clear.
happiness in it is
Exactly.
evident.
Exactly.
But I also feel it's got not only does it have the Highlife elements, not only
Yeah.
does it have the jazz elements, it's got that little Beatenberg
Exactly.
Makasai type of vibe in there as well. You get this
Folu, you
Pan-African
know me,
feel.
you know me, you get it. You get it. That was actually what I was going for.
Okay.
You see, I've worked with a lot of people in my career, from the Don Jazzes of this world down to Yusun, to Angelique Kidjo, to Akon, to
Because
all
when
these
you're
people.
bad, you drop names like this.
Exactly. But working with them taught me a lot of things. Like you can combine a lot of things with African music and it can sound dope. I saw Mikasa perform at Casbah. It was last 2 years, and I was blown away.
Love
By the
those
way, if
words.
people are listening, holla at your boy. We have to make something.
Yeah.
But also it also pushed me because this year I was in Austin, Texas, and I met a guitarist called Gary Clark Jr., the Grammy Award-winning guitarist.
I know the
And we're in the studio together, and he told me that he was a huge fan of my music. So I was really, really surprised because he does blues,
Yes.
and it just gave me the confidence to say, the music is amazing.
You're the man, honestly. Look at names.
Let me just
Look at
say,
names, man.
let me just say in this
Gary
lane that
Clark.
I am. I'm not gonna change it.
Okay, so all these names that you just dropped
yes.
in the studio for us, I mean, which of them told you, I'll help you, how did they even put it? I'll help you with exposure.
Nobody.
As in when it came down to the point of payments, you did
Oh
jobs for them.
no! See,
Musicians don't treat
when
each
I
other
was
like that.
Senegal, when I worked with Yusun, though, I didn't have to even talk money with him. I finished the session, I produced the music. After the guy left, and his assistant came and counts the dollar.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
My God.
And they gave me my credit.
I am
full
moving
credit.
jobs. Announcement, people. I'm learning the guitar. So this guy takes off his shirts. He gets you to enjoy his studio. He meets Gary Clark Jr.
Yes.
You have living my life.
Bro, don't
Give
skip
me
that
that
part
one.
where he said he had a very detailed conversation with his wife before he did that.
Another quick break to sanitize our brains and then come back. But I do want to find out from Femi Leye why he decided to come out next with an EP and not a full project, because we do know a Cabo happened, we know a Cabo Live happened. There was your first album, which the name is escaping me now.
Ibukun with the
Ibukun.
chopsticks, yeah.
Yes, and I love the track itself, which is just
Yeah,
delicious.
Ibukun.
So we're gonna talk a little bit more to Femi Leye just after the break. Keep listening. It's Smooth, Grapevine 981 on Smooth 98.1, brought to you by Verve.
Yes.
What keeps you going? Everything that you
I try to be PG-13.
Too
Much
much.
of activity.
Thank God my wife does not listen to radio in the morning.
Yeah,
Yes, you'll be shocked.
I'm going
Why
to
would
forward.
you say
I'm going
that?
to forward.
Exactly. You munch, the equivalent of munching this.
My sister, open your eyes. Your husband might walk in here. This was where I met him in Star. And I don't even give her a face.
Yes, if you know,
I did not give her a face. She was an
marketing
intern.
Crack on.
I was looking
Then
at
I was
you.
like, At one point, I was so regular here. Regular.
I was coming on a consistent basis.
No.
I've cashed,
I'm back here.
We're back in studio.
The grapevine on the smooth
Oh, why is the
breakfast
outro there? No.
It's not done. It's okay.
Because we have the spot block.
It's okay.
Okay.
So we're back in, and you're listening to the Grapevine, like we told you already. Femi Leye is in the studio, Lagos. You can join us. You can see his face. You can hear the windows in the background. You can listen to all the side conversations on YouTube. Just type in the search box "Smooth 91 FM Lagos."
Yes, indeed. As for Femi Leye, I was asking you just before the break why you decided to come out with an EP. Why you decided to come out with an EP as opposed to a full project? Because this has 4 songs on it. And when can we expect a full project?
Okay. So when I released my first album, before I released my first album, I already had plans for 3 albums, and I knew exactly when I was going to drop those albums. When I dropped the Cabo in 2015, I knew that my next album was coming out in 2019. So I gave myself time to grow as a person, as a man, and even musically grow. Learned a lot of things. I went into really producing, learning how to engineer, because I engineered the Highlife EP. Recorded 70% of the project. I recorded 70% of the instruments on the project, so I had to grow. But I started working on the next album 2015. So get ready for some amazing music. This EP has nothing on the album itself, and it comes out 2019. Believe me, you don't want to dull this one.
Thank you very much for that, Femi. We've got messages coming in. Ingrid Project sends me a message. I think it's directed at me. She says there's actually no problem in reviewing big acts alone, but it is unfair to look for upcoming acts to stalk you before you review music. You made the same kind of statements about Maka's track before the review, but I am enjoying Femi Leye's Daara track. The reality is we are flooded with tracks. People send us stuff. I'm not saying you have to stalk me, but consistency does pay, because at the end of the day, he sent things later on than a lot of people and a lot of even well-established acts. So we do our best, but we're human, and we only have a total of maybe an hour in the entire week when we do this. Smooth breakfast.
Can I chip in?
Yes, please.
From the perspective of an artist,
If
you're an artist and you take your craft seriously, you have to be consistent. I remember the first song I sent to Smooth, it took a while for it to be reviewed, to be played. They didn't even meet me, but at the end of the day, it was played. But I was following up. People don't follow up. You just drop an email and just feel that, that's everything's done well and good. You will be underground for the rest of your life. Stay there, let pants be wearing.
Meanwhile,
Wow.
Some months ago, we made this call. We made a deliberate call for artists to bring in to submit their song. So if you have your song in your laptop,
You are
on your
doing
phone,
well. You
there's
guys are
no
doing
way
amazing.
You reach out
That's
to
what I'm
reach out.
saying.
Jonathan, we don't have that
Hack these
superpower.
things, Valentine. Hack people's
You
phones.
have to reach out.
You can't be a lazy musician. The people that are making it are putting in the work. They don't sleep. I have not slept. I had a show yesterday night. I'm here now, and I'm going somewhere else. The grind is continuous. Often share, thanks. But you have to follow up, and you have to be nice, and you can't be talking like this. If you're a musician, my brother, I'm sorry for you. Go and farm.
The other thing is, when you slide into DMs, don't slide into DM and just drop a track link for me. It's very unlikely I'll listen to it that way. Ask what's the best way to get you to hear music. Then I'll give you the email addresses, and then you can do that. And that's what I've done to the best of my ability with everyone that is approached correctly. And I believe Valentine is the same.
You people do something for me. If you get all these things, send them to me. I can abuse people.
Can you imagine?
It's a skill.
No,
Thank you very much.
It's not that kind of show. It's not that kind of show. Messages are coming in. Ugo sends in this one on WhatsApp to say the song by Edez sounds okay, but he seems to me like an unmastered Johnny Drill.
I'm not even sure how to react to that one.
So we have this one from Oye, the guitarist. He said, "Good morning, Folu and Valentine." He continues to say, "After Happy New Month, thank you very much." He said, "Brother Femi Leye in the house. I saw an alert on his Highlife EP. He's one of the guitarists I respect a lot. Every woman has the ability to make her man pot belly."
Femi, we're watching your stomach. This is all your movie shit now.
You're on stomach watch now.
Let's hope.
He increased, but it has been increased by the grace of God.
Ayo says, Femi, your string strings will never cut and your chords will
Amen.
never finish.
Amen.
When my
Praise
son
the
was
Lord.
6 months old, wherever he hears the intro to your song Ayo, it turns into an unstoppable choreographer. So thanks a lot. My regards to
Appreciate it,
Philly.
man. Appreciate it. Thank you so
That's
much.
That's very nice.
That's really
That is
cool.
awesome. That is
Thank you.
awesome.
And we have this one from what's
your
his
name?
name?
Damilola
Damilola from Sierra Leone. Said Daddy Femi Leye in the studio. A lot of love struck
eyes.
emojis. Wow.
Wow.
Femi, only you. Okay, so yes, I'm that crazy about Femi Leye. Okay, I see you. Already pre-ordered the Highlife EP. My question to Femi Leye is who or what inspired Abasiama?
That's the name of another track.
Abasiama means God's love.
In what
And-
language?
in
Ibibio.
Bibio.
We're not
I
listening.
see.
In
See, this is
Ibibio.
why some of us were the best students.
I was just thinking about the food that he was mentioning earlier.
It means God's love, and
Okay.
I think it's self-explanatory. God loves us, and that
Abasi,
song,
Ama.
yeah,
I
Abasi,
see.
and that song is
God
an
loves us
embodiment
enough
of
to
that,
take
so,
off
yeah.
shit.
You will not let that go.
Thank you so much for revealing this. We've got this from Josephine OA who says, "Woo! I'm already added it to my Christmas party list."
Wow.
Talking about Daara. She goes, Josephine actually living in Akwa Ibom with a friend called Daara. He says,
Wow.
Very
and then
nice.
Okay,
Josephine
the song
goes
is
on
for
to
you.
say, interesting, the Edez song. I hope that's the correct spelling. Yes, it is. It sounds so good, like a British artist, in a good way. Lovely, like a good morning glass of water. You know?
Interesting.
Lyrics. We have lyrics.
Drink away. Drop us some rap lyrics in his language.
Hey, Francis, let me say
You
on
have
behalf-
to calm down now.
On behalf of the Yoruba people who don't know how to pronounce other people's language, don't allow Femi to destroy his wife's language. Please. Let's just be respectful. We are about to kind of round up on the grapevine because time is just against us. But I think it would be somehow if we wrapped up without talking about Nicki Minaj and Cardi, which we should have spoken about very quickly on Tuesday because I was late to work on Tuesday morning because I was watching all of Cardi's videos that she dropped on her Instagram. Just
Back and forth.
It was
Cardi B
a thing, man.
is not somebody that you should play with anyhow. I believe that this woman fully means it when she told Nicki in the video that however you want to settle this, we can settle this. If you want to fight it out, have my numbers. Why you keep leaking my numbers? If you want to squash the beef, then squash it. But just stop, because Nicki keeps subbing her in a lot of songs. But Nicki was the first person to put out the tweet to say, do you know what? I'm tired of all of this. Let's just focus on peace and love. And Cardi retweeted it. She posted it on her Instagram page and said, cool, then let's just let it be.
Fear.
But Oris, what are your thoughts?
Nicki's a better rapper at the end.
Yeah, I do
Yes,
think
yeah.
Nicki's a
So
better
I
rapper.
think all of this is just Cardi overreaching. Like,
Do you
Auntie,
think so?
stay on your
Because-
level, please.
But this is the thing, right? I find that
You
Cardi
don't belong
has,
here.
has been in her place. People just love her.
To drag her.
Yeah.
The amount
actually,
of love that Cardi
she has
has
a lot of
received far
love.
outstrips the love that Nicki has.
Yeah.
True.
And Nicki
Really?
keeps making comments on the press. She keeps making comments in her songs about how Cardi must have fudged her numbers, about how Cardi must be doing this, she must be doing that. But the girl has just, beyond anyone's really rational comprehension, just gets a lot of
love.
love. And that's,
I
and
love
that's
how-
what
I'm
Cardi
not
is
lying.
selling. She's selling this street love, down to the high
She
fashion
said
designers.
she's selling violence, please. She's
No,
selling
she's
selling
not.
being
Don't-
street.
don't say
This
that.
This just means both of you are fans, actually. That's what this
I'm
means.
fans of both of them because I've always loved Nicki Minaj. From the first time that she featured, or was it like a ludicrous track, and I said it from the jump, I was like, this woman is bad. People kept thinking, oh, it was just pop cum star. I was like, no, it's not bubblegum. Yes, she's got her body to distract you, and that's part of the appeal,
It's
right?
part
To
of
draw
PR,
you
yeah.
in. And she's been doing it for a long time, but I've always, from day one, been a Nicki fan. Cardi took me a lot longer to get on board, but I now understand that it's just genuine. She's true streets. It's not pretend streets. It's
Exactly,
not-
but I do not
But that's
understand.
what rap culture is.
No, it's about bars. You should be able to like do something in the booth.
See,
It's about street
It goes
bars.
beyond that,
Yeah.
bros.
No, don't say
does.
I don't think the word you're looking for is beyond.
Beyond.
I don't think it's beyond. It encompasses a lot of other
It goes
things.
beyond that.
No,
It's
I don't
a
agree.
culture. It's not just
No,
the
it's
See,
sound.
Okay, you might be right, but I don't understand. Okay, we should get any guy who just fights on the street and then make him a star, then, right?
It doesn't work like that.
Exactly.
Not
Exactly.
everyone will
Look,
actually get
the
there,
centerpiece
yeah.
of a musician is what the person does on the record, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
And
So let's.
outside.
So
of it.
yeah,
Outside
yeah,
the
here you go. This is why I love Cardi actually. Everything,
You guys, oh my god.
she's a social media star. She's not a rap
Yes,
star.
she is, but
Yeah,
think
that's
she's
what's
made
happening here,
herself a rap
exactly.
star, though.
Yeah,
think so.
I started following her a while back, because before the music started, you know, when she had teeth and all that, and she was very real. You know her story from the jump,
From- yeah.
and I've watched her grow into
Into this monster.
if she's from Nigeria, probably
Monster.
if she's from Nigeria,
No,
probably from Mushin or Oshodi or something like that. Like
Yes.
like streets.
Streets.
When they even interview her,
Local
you see
slender
it's,
streets.
she's not, and she can't even speak proper English,
Yes.
and she's not ashamed of it. She said, "This is who I am. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from."
But
New
she
York,
remind you of
blah, blah,
Bobrisky? No.
No.
Exactly.
No, I mean, I'm not even sure.
She's better at everything.
And also, I mean, people keep wanting to take away the rap status from her, but guess
Yeah.
what? She has been breaking records,
Oh, yeah.
and she just started.
Yeah,
I
look,
mean,
look,
you
she's
can't-
making
you can't-
records
you
because
can't
she's
deny
popular on
it.
social
It
media.
doesn't matter
Please.
why you want to say because there are many popular people on
I
social
beg,
media
I
that know
don't
they
agree.
break records.
See what just happened here. That's why they're selling.
But messages is true.
Exactly. Yeah,
We've
totally
got
agree.
message Alvin from Maryland says, huge fan of Femi, any day, anytime. When is the EP out?
It
was
dropped
out
yesterday.
Yes.
Check it out.
Again, it's called
I like
the
EP.
Highlife EP. There you
Yeah,
go.
check it out.
And DSK says, so Imi na Femi wife. Imi of Casper that year. They play Femi song well that time.
You all think
She
Femi was
made
coming
me
to the
know
studio every
Femi.
time.
What
Every time.
He says, what a nice collabo.
That was
Imi
not the reason why
great
she
on
was
radio.
playing my music. It was because my music was good.
Yes,
Yeah.
fact.
We had, this is the funny thing.
I said that's why you were frequenting the studio.
No, that was not the reason. That was after. You know that like triple after.
Right.
You know.
After like 5 years.
Okay, listen, we truly have to round up. Femi, thank you so much for coming to hang
Thank
with
you
us
guys. Thank you
today.
so much. Thank you. Please listen to the Highlife EP, stream, download, and everything. Thank you very much for the
Do
love.
needful. Oris, we enjoy having you here.
Yes, and I'll be back.
Especially now that I'm more on time.
What does this even mean?
We have to go later.
Police on the road.
One last shot for the